Hello and welcome to day 29. Today we're going to do the split. So if you have a blanket or anything you can put on the ground. I forgot one, so I brought my scarf. So just, anything. We're going to come into a bound angle just to stretch out those hips. And please don't feel discouraged if you can't get into splits. I can't do it in this video either. So when you're ready, we'll extend that left leg out, bring those hands each side, then slowly walking forward. Just keeping length through that spine. And dropping down the head and the neck. Relaxing the body. And just focusing in on that breath. Inviting those deep inhales in and relaxing with those exhales. Your next inhale, slowly starting to lift. We'll bring that foot back in towards that bound angle. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly extend that left leg out to the one side, bringing those hands to each side of that left leg. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to fold forward. Again, either just bending at those elbows or you can drop down towards those forearms, finding that deeper stretch. Using that breath as you relax down deeper in towards the pose. Creating that stillness in both the body and the mind. Then on your next inhale, slowly starting to lift, walking those hands back towards center, drawing that right foot back in towards that bound angle. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly extend each leg out to each side, finding that wide-legged seated stretch that we would have done day 2, I believe. Bring those hands to center. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly walk those hands out as far as you need to. And then again, you can either bend at those elbows or drop down towards those forearms. Don't mind Harley, walk in front of the camera. And then just finding that comfortable spot that works for your body. If you drop down to the forearms and it's too much, you can simply lift back up. Just using that breath here again. Relaxing all those muscles. And then when you're ready, slowly starting to lift, bring those feet back in towards that bound angle. Creating length through that spine. Your next inhale, draw those knees towards center, exhaling to lower, inhaling to lift, exhale to lower, one more, inhaling to lift, and exhaling to lower. Then placing those hands and knees, drawing those knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a hug. And on exhale, we'll let go, and we're going to come in towards our tabletop. Just on those hands and knees, fingers spread wide. Your next inhale, we'll extend that right leg out. We're going to cross that right leg over to the left side, coming onto those toes, pushing back through that heel, stretching it through that right leg. Probably feel a stretch at the bottom of that foot as well. On inhale, lift up, coming back towards center. Then ready, lifting up that left leg, sending that leg out far, and then crossing over towards that right side. Again, just coming into those toes, pushing that heel back. And when you're ready, slowly coming back towards center, finding that tabletop, and then we're going to curl those toes under, lifting up, pushing back towards your downward dog. Your next inhale will sweep at that right leg, then stepping that right leg forward, lowering that left knee down, uncurling those toes. And on exhale, we're going to push back, dropping down the head and the neck, coming towards your half pyramid. Relaxing here. On inhale, slowly moving forward, pushing those hips forward, finding that low lunge. Then on exhale, slowly pushing back, lifting through those toes. Then inhaling to push forward. Then one more time on exhale, we're going to slowly start to push back, maybe going a little bit further here. Just letting go of any tension. Then on inhale, slowly moving forward, pushing those hips forward. Then placing those hands, we're going to curl those left toes under. Then stepping that right foot back towards your downward dog. On inhale, stepping up that left foot. Exhale, step that left foot forward. Lowering down that right knee, curling those toes. Staying lifted on the fingertips. And on exhale, pushing back. And dropping down the head and the neck. Stretching out through that left leg. Inhaling to push forward, pushing those hips forward. And then on exhale, slowly pushing back. Then inhaling, we'll slowly move forward. And then we're going to go for one more time. So on exhale, you can slowly start to push back. Maybe feeling a little bit more open on the third time. Your next inhale, slowly pushing forward. Then when you're ready, placing those hands, curling those right toes under, lifting up, stepping that left foot back towards your downward dog. Then on inhale, we'll lift up that right leg. We're going to bend at that right knee. We're going to place that right knee to the outside of that right wrist. So it's similar to pigeon, but instead of bringing that knee to the inside of that wrist, we're going to bring it to the outside of the wrist. So that knee is going to be out towards the side. You're just going to open up through that right hip just a little bit more. And then again, you can choose to relax down in here as you would with a pigeon. And just focusing on that breath, relaxing that body. Then when you're ready, you can slowly start to lift, curling those left toes under, then stepping that right foot back towards your downward dog. Take a moment, pedal out those feet. And then we're going to do the same for the other side. So inhale to lift up that left leg, bending that left knee, and placing that left knee to the outside of that left wrist. Then curling those toes, and on exhale, falling forward, finding that comfortable spot. Breathing in towards that left hip. Just noticing if one side feels different than the other. Finding comfort through this pose. Then allowing that exhale to melt your body a little bit deeper in towards the earth. Feeling grounded. Then when you're ready, you're slowly going to start to lift, placing those hands down, curling those right toes under, then slowly lifting up, stepping back towards your downward dog for one breath. Then on exhale, we're going to lower down those knees, and we're going to sit up onto those knees. And then from here, we're going to try those splits. We're going to extend that right leg out. Then from here, so you're going to find that low lunge. Then from here, you can either slowly start to walk that right foot out, and then if you want, this is where you use that blanket. You're going to place that heel onto that blanket, and then slowly sliding that leg out, just going as far as you need to. I did not bring any blocks with me today. I did not think about it. So if you need blocks, you're going to put them where I have on my fingertips. So you'd put them under there so you can try and keep your hips up and that upper body straight up. But yeah, you just want to breathe in towards that right hip. Just going as far as you need to feel that stretch. And you want to try and keep those hips squared as well, and then you can slowly come out of it. And then again, if you want to try going back in after you take a break, then that is fine too. Readjust yourself. Then I'll show you as well, if you don't feel like going as far into splits, if this is your first time, you can place those hands onto those hips, and then just keep that left knee bent with that right leg straight. Just to get a feel for it, you can slowly start to slide that right leg out just a little bit, just to find a deeper stretch. Don't feel you need to get into it. You don't need to hurt yourself here. It's just a nice little stretch just to get yourself prepared for it. And then when you're ready, you can slowly start to come back out. We'll just sink back towards that child's pose, giving that right hip a little bit of a break. Focusing on that breath. And then slowly coming back up, and then we're going to try with that left leg. Again, if you just want to try those hands at the hips, then that's fine. You don't need to push yourself. My body's not open enough to get it into the splits, and this is actually my weaker side anyway. So we all have a strong and a weak side, but that comes with practice. And that's why we're all here. Then if you want to come out of it, you can slowly fall over to that one side. If you get stuck and can't come back out, gone too far, just be careful on how you fall. And then just simply coming back. And again, trying it again. Again, don't feel discouraged. It took me probably about 5 years to be able to even get into splits just on one side. So my hips are tight. But again, you just have to warm up beforehand. And then when you're ready, slowly coming back out. And then we'll sink back down towards that child's pose. Just connecting back in with that breath. Noticing how those hips feel. Then when you're ready, slowly starting to lift, coming back up onto those heels, catching that breath. Your next inhale, sweeping those hands all the way up overhead. Exhaling those hands down to heart center. I hope you enjoyed your splits, and we'll see you for day 30.